The curious case of Six Flags Darien Lake is often overlooked by most amusement park fans outside of the western New York area. Well, at least until someone makes up a rumor that Ride of Steel is going to get removed. This park has gone through a lot, especially in the past couple of decades. This park is insanely hard to predict because no one seems to hold on to this park for that long. That said, the park has a lot of potential. The park has lots of land, a hotel, campground, and amphitheater, which is a lot more than you'd expect for an average amusement park. Getting the Six Flags name back has seemed to increase park attendance, but nothing has really happened in the last few years, mainly due to the pandemic. With Darien Lake being my home park, there's a lot of things I see and hear, so I've made many videos discussing some of the topics I plan on referencing in today's video. I've created a playlist of videos on Darien Lake on the channel so you guys can check out everything I've made in regards to the park. I also just recently made a video talking about the park's 2021 season, so make sure to check that out at some point as well. Today we're going to be discussing what the future of Darien Lake looks like. I'll be discussing various aspects of the park that could factor into the future of Darien Lake. Before we jump into the video, make sure to give this video a like to show your support for the channel, as that keeps me motivated to keep making new videos. Also, make sure to subscribe for more great content on Darien Lake and other amusement parks all around the world. That said, let's talk about the immediate future for the park in regards to the 2022 season. Recently, we were made aware of some changes for the upcoming season. First, the park has reinstated Chris Thrope as park president. Thrope is from the western New York area, and he has held the park president position for many years before he got promoted to regional vice president. The reason he's coming back is because the new CEO has cut the regional position from the chain. So they just decided to reinstate him as park president. This hasn't been formally announced, but I've seen his name on a couple of press releases as president of the park. As for Mark Kane, the park's president prior to Thrope's reinstatement, we don't really know if he's still involved with the park or he just got the boot. This is kind of a shame because it seemed like he had the park heading in the right direction, but Thrope did fine as park president before, so I'm not that concerned. Next, the park is finally getting the long-awaited addition of Wahoo Wave for the season and a rebrand of the water park to Hurricane Harbor. Wahoo Wave was supposed to open up in 2020, but that obviously didn't happen because of the pandemic. We'll be getting this along with some other improvements with the rebranding, like more lounge chairs, expanded seating, more shaded areas, a new tropical themed wave pool mural, and best of all, the return of the shark that was taken away from us in 2021. The water park is very popular, so I hope they do a good job with all these changes. And I hope operations on the slides improve as well. Beyond the water park improvements, I'm not sure what else the park has planned for this year. I have heard rumors that the park will demolish the giant wheel after it sat closed for all of last season, so that would open up some space by the lake. There's still no word on the status of Grizzly Run, so that's another thing we'll have to check out in the future. Unfortunately, I haven't checked out the park since the end of last season, so I don't have anything new for you guys as of now. But I sure will share any new info that I learn when the park opens for the season, or any trips that I make prior to the start of this season. Now let's move on to the prediction section of the video. Now just keep in mind that everything I say from here on out is just speculation and not a fact. It's all about trying to make the most accurate prediction possible. First off, a lot of people are making doomsday-like comments a few months back when rumors came out from Screamscape about Ride of Steel getting removed and whatnot. A lot of people were saying the park will be the next Geauga Lake, and although I get the comparison, I do not believe that to be the case. The park just seems to be too profitable for someone not to be interested in buying it if EPR Six Flags wants to cut their contract. I'd throw closure out as an option, at least for the short term. In terms of how I think the 2022 season will go, I think the park will start off slow, but will continue to make improvements as the season goes on like they did last year. I do believe that most coasters will still be stuck on one train ops though. As for any additions for 2023, I'm kinda sold that we'll get something to replace Giant Wheel. I do not believe it to be a roller coaster, but I think a giant flat ride of some sorts could be in line for that area of the park. I also think the boardwalk would receive some new upgrades packaged with that new ride as well. In terms of what the ride could be, I have two options that I think would be very realistic and good fits. One of them being a Zamperla Giant Discovery. I mean, come on, imagine swinging out over the lake in the midways. That would just be so cool. I think Six Flags would be willing to give this park a Giant Discovery, as they have given some smaller parks like Six Flags America one of these. Another one I could see is a Vomitron, as I think it would also give an awesome swinging sensation right next to the water. That would also fit the boardwalk theme better, so maybe Six Flags could look into that. Either way, I think we will see a flat ride coming as the park's next edition. Another wild card could be that Six Flags decides to send us Vipère from La Ronde, as the park recently stated it will not be constructed. I could see that happening in 2023 or 2024 depending on when the flat ride comes. When it comes to the next few years, I probably bank on another water park expansion of some sorts. Other than that, I'm pretty unsure on what other new rides we could be seeing. A hot topic in the Darien Lake community is whether or not we will see the reintroduction of DC and Looney Tunes characters to the park. Rumor has it that this was supposed to come in 2020, but it got put on hold due to the pandemic. If I had to take a guess whether we will see DC or Looney Tunes characters or branding at the park in the next few years, I'll say yes, but to a smaller scale. I don't feel that Darien Lake would make a dedicated area to these themes, but it would not shock me to see bits and pieces here and there around the park of these themes. I've actually seen a bunch of DC merch in the Ride of Steel gift shop, so maybe that could be hinting at something coming in the future. A Superman Ride of Steel rebrand would probably be one of the more obvious choices, but I also think a Mini Racer retheme could be in the cards, along with a few other rides around the park. However, these rides are likely to be scattered throughout the park, mainly because Darien Lake doesn't really have any themed areas, and I don't think Six Flags is going to change that. Moving into the long-term side of things, it's nearly impossible to predict this far ahead for Darien Lake, but one thing I do believe is that Six Flags will hold on the park for a while. But I would not be shocked if EPR sells off their ownership in the park to Six Flags or other investors. We all need to watch out for this park's flat ride collection because many rides will be reaching the end of their service lives soon, which will force the park to either refurbish them like they did with Pirate or remove them entirely like the Giant Wheel. I think that would be a good topic for another video, so if you'd like to see a full video of me predicting which rides the park will keep and which ones they will remove, tell me that in the comments below. Another thing this park has to deal with right now is the emergence of Niagara Amusement Park. I've heard that the goal of that park is to compete with Darien Lake, so that makes me wonder if Darien Lake will make a move to help stay above their potential new competitor if that park is successful. For those of you who are waiting for me to talk about some big coaster the park will get in the next few years, I unfortunately don't see that happening. To me, it appears that Six Flags will invest more ride capital into their bigger parks while making smaller improvements to every other park in the chain. That doesn't get me to wonder if Six Flags will add more trains to the coasters in the future. I think this is something that will have to happen in order to keep all the coasters operating, especially on a ride like Mini Racer that will be in need of a new train sooner or later. And when I say later, I mean within like the next year or two. However, I doubt we will see this issue addressed on a wide scale soon because Darien Lake has had this issue for years, but they have failed to address it, so I don't really think they see the need to address the one train ops. I don't think the park will buy any new trains for coasters at the park soon, unless it's a situation like Mini Racer where they might have to buy new trains for it. If Darien Lake can continue to show growth out these smaller additions, this could lead to the park seeing more investment later down the line because I do think the park does have potential. We just need the chain to be willing to invest some money here. Six Flags Darien Lake really does have no definite future in my opinion, but I'm slowly starting to become more optimistic for the future of this park. As much as you might think it doesn't matter, I think that the little things the new management for the chain is doing could do wonders for improving this park specifically, especially in things like food. The park honestly doesn't do a lot of these little things that well, so hopefully the corporate changes will help to address these issues. If you combine that with some nice new additions here and there and some operational improvements, Darien Lake may become a park that a lot of people want to visit in the future. That's just my thoughts on the future of Darien Lake. Make sure to let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. If you'd like to see more content on Darien Lake, I have a whole playlist of videos on my channel, so you can check all those videos out. If you like this video, make sure to give this video a like to show your support for the channel, and subscribe to the channel for more awesome Darien Lake content coming soon. For anyone looking to chat with other fans of the channel, make sure to join my Discord linked in the description down below. Make sure to check out my second channel, WMY and Beyond, where I post off-ride footage that is free to use. So I definitely appreciate your support over there. But with all that being said, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.